Today I'm going to show you exactly how we actually, in a real life situation, play a role in supporting agencies grow. And we're going to do that with the Go High Level University. Now, the Go High Level University are actually partners with High Level Pro Tools, but they still use when it comes to actually scaling their own agency. That says a lot. And I'll show you exactly why. So Ryan came to us and actually he didn't know what to offer. He was really good at writing ads, really good at acquisition, really good at sales. And he was trying to spend ages figuring out the ins and outs of creating a really powerful thing to sell to service businesses. And so he came to us. And we already pre-built the entire back end, as I said, to sell pretty much everything a service business is looking for in a way that's super scalable. And so we built his landing page. We installed our white label AI software, which is, we are assistable resellers. We just able to provide at a, higher support and a slightly reduced rate. So you see that in his GHLU sub account. We then went in and we built him a onboarding funnel. And you'll see here, this is completely branded and white labeled to him. Every single agency has a different brand. You don't ever see the EchoSetter brand or even grey label. It's your logo, your branding, your color scheme throughout, and we build that for you. And then we connect this to our ClickUp. We connect the domains for you, and then all Orion was doing was, this is actually just closing. He was closing. So he was sending me like WhatsApp messages all the time of him closing like 3 to 5K ticket deals like multiple times a day. In his first month, he was able to generate over 30K in new revenue. After he closed that deal, he would then pass it to us with our onboarding calendar. And then our team would take the onboarding call. Obviously, it's blurred out the clients here. And once we submit that onboarding call, it would then go into his specific ClickUp that we had built for him in our internal business. You would have a client, all the management information, and then that client would get a wealth of information on how his snapshot worked. Now again, if we had to do some sort of minor changes or customizations to his specific snapshot, then if he asked questions, we would just answer them. But the reality is our snapshot teaches the fundamentals of their business and the outcomes that are driven from it, rather than little changes. And then, once that was done, so he got all this, we were then supporting him in Slack. So all my team are in his Slack every single day, and they know everything about his business because we're like a partner. It's not just like outsourcing a VA and then that VA doesn't really know what's going on, doesn't really know your snapshot, doesn't really know anything. My team are drilled by me every day, managed by me every day, quality assured by me every day, where they have to meet my standards in every single dimension, from client communications to fulfillment, and they're kind of kept to my level each time. Whenever that level drops, I can work directly with my client, and I simply, kick them back into gear if anything ever goes wrong. Meaning that I am the operator of the agency every day. Then, for him specifically, we were managing his clients in Slack during the setup, and then afterwards, he was having his clients message here, where we would then be on the back end replying where necessary and where needed and jumping on Zoom calls and stuff like this. But during the setup, we were actually in the Slack, making sure we needed to get anything we needed from them. And then, if there was anything ever broken, they would have a white label support ticket system, which went straight into our ClickUp that we were able to manage. And this whole process, he was paying for the software, he was paying for our team to be installed into his business, where all he then had to do was, and that is the expectation that I uphold myself to within EchoSetter. It's not just getting a VA and getting some support and having to spend ages teaching them. No. You're getting me inside your business, helping you grow, whilst making my team push your business to become more profitable, more scalable. And everything is then managed by a project manager, a dedicated onboarding specialist, all linked back to me and ClickUp, where me and you as an agency owner can connect, and you're never, having to manage the VA yourself or train the VA yourself. They're already, passing many examinations from me. If you have any questions about the process itself, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Speak soon.